can message instantly. You can order food instantly. You can even reach a hospital instantly. But when the bill arrives, paying the hospital still feels uncertain. One notification, and suddenly, it isn't about technology anymore. It's about time and consequences. If this is late, the payment plan pauses, and the balance keeps growing. Every day you wait, the number feels a little heavier. Every refresh of the screen feels a little quieter. This isn't a subscription you can cancel. It's not a pizza you can send back. It's not a ride you can rate 1 star and forget. It's a deadline you can't argue with, a clock you don't control. Some bills don't wait for explanations. They just arrive, sit on your screen, and ask a question you have to answer. Ethan opens the app like he has 100 times before. The amount is simple, $1,450. The number doesn't scare him. What scares him is what happens after he taps send. 4 buttons, a CH transfer, wire transfer, Zelle, instant, same money, same hospital, same deadline on Monday morning, but every button answers a different question. Not can this move, but who pays if something goes wrong? ACH is the quiet option. Wire is the loud one. Zelle feels like a message. Instant feels like a promise. To the app, they all fit on one screen. To the system underneath, they are 4 completely different stories. Every option works, just not in the same way. And tonight, Ethan has to pick one. When money feels abstract, we stare at our phones alone. When it feels personal, we go looking for someone who won't panic before we do. Maya has seen this look before, not just on Ethan, but on business owners, on colleagues, on our own family. He doesn't need a pep talk. He doesn't need a quote about staying positive. He needs someone who understands that a number on a screen can change how you sleep on a Friday night. A medical bill isn't just $1,450. It's a plan that can pause. It's a balance that can grow. It's a quiet threat with a due date. When systems feel overwhelming, we don't look for speed. We look for someone who understands consequences. Tonight, for Ethan, that person is sitting across the table, and the problem is glowing between them. At this table, Zelle is exactly where it belongs. Small amount, familiar faces, 2 people who would pick up the phone if something felt wrong. Maya pays the bar with her card. Ethan sends his share with a tap. No one worries about cutoffs or settlement windows or which rail the money rides. To them, it feels like a message, a fast, friendly thank you in dollars. Zelle is built for moments like this: splitting dinner, paying back a friend, covering the ride home, instant, free, socially perfect. When nothing goes wrong, speed feels harmless. But the more normal it feels, the easier it is to forget what's really happening under the glass. Tonight at this bar, Zelle looks simple. Later, when more money is on the line, it won't. At the bar, Zelle felt harmless. At home in the dark, it is about to become something else. Ethan thinks the night is over. The bill is paid, the money moved, the danger gone. The same tool he used with a friend is about to be used against him. The number looks right, the logo looks right. Everything on the screen says this is his bank, and they need him now. This is the first layer of the scam, a spoofed bank call. Caller ID itself becomes the weapon. He answers. A calm professional voice tells him his account has been flagged for suspicious activity, and that money is about to disappear. The story is simple. Your money is under attack. The scammer is using a real fear his bank already warned him about. Then comes the solution. Move his own money with Zelle into a temporary safe account while the bank investigates. Zelle becomes the escape route. The same button he used with Maya now looks like the way to save his balance. So he types $3,500 to an account name that sounds official. His thumb moves with the muscle memory of dozens of real transfers. This is the genius of the scam. Ethan is in his real banking app using the real Zelle service. The app is genuine, only the instruction is fake. His thumb hovers, a word that doesn't match, a tone that feels off. A small wave of doubt pushes against everything he's being told. Some scams end in loss. This one ends in doubt. Ethan hangs up, backs out of Zelle, and the transfer never happens. $3,500 stays in his account. He ends the call. The warning, the urgency, the instructions, all gone with a single tap. The near miss feels embarrassing, but it also feels like proof. I almost fell for it. I caught myself. I won't be that careless again. In a slightly different version of tonight, his thumb lands on send, and everything changes. Ethan gets to walk away from that version of the story. Someone else won't. Not everyone gets a near miss. For most people in this story, the moment of doubt comes too late. It starts with a message that feels bigger than them. A bill that sounds overdue. A threat that sounds official. A warning that lands at exactly the wrong time of the month. On her phone, the words are simple. Pay now, or something important stops. Power, heat, a government case that she cannot afford to fight. So she does what the message tells her to do. She calls the number on the screen. On the other end, the voice sounds calm, practiced, helpful. They already know her name. They know just enough about her account to sound like they belong there. They say there is a problem with her payment. They say they can fix it now if she makes a one-time transfer. Step by step, they guide her into the exact same banking app she has used for years, without a problem. The same login, the same colors, the same Zelle button. Unlike Ethan, she has never heard the words authorized push payment fraud. To her, this is just what her bank told her to do. Use the app, use Zelle, and pay quickly. She types in an amount that hurts. Not a number from a news story, but a number from her real life. A month of rent, a stack of utility bills. The name she sends it to looks official enough that her brain does not argue. On the screen, it looks like any other bill she's ever paid. Then she presses send. The checkmark appears in seconds. Green, friendly, final. Only after the call ends, after the text messages stop replying, after the real company tells her, that wasn't us, does the word scam finally enter the room. By then the money is gone. Not pending. Not sitting in a queue. Not waiting for a human being to pull it back. It moved in real time, to an account she will never see, on rails that were built to be irreversible. For years, victims like her have heard the same sentence. You authorized the transaction. On paper, fraud is a percentage. A fraction of all the payments that go right. In this kitchen, on this night, fraud is everything. Ethan walked away with his money. She didn't. Neither of them built the system that made that possible. This isn't just a story about one scammer on one phone call. This is about the rails that carry the money, the rules that decide who pays for fraud, and the choices that turn speed into a weapon. Two people, same year, same app. One stops in time, one doesn't. On a timeline, their stories look almost identical, step after step, until you reach one moment. Thumb hovers over send, versus thumb presses it. Underneath both stories, the money moves the same way. From you, to your bank, across the instant payment rail, into another bank, and finally, into the scammer's account. At every stop along that line, someone could slow it down, flag it, or freeze it. Most of the time, no one does. Complaints, lawsuits, hearings. The same pattern keeps showing up. Instant transfers, sophisticated scams, and customers told that because they pressed send, the loss is on them. In theory, the system has three big players: banks, the payment rail, and the people who write the rules. Together they decide how fast money moves, how much protection exists, and who eats the loss when things go wrong. Right now, most of that loss falls on the person at the very end of the story. The customer who trusted the call and pressed send. Ethan hears about it days later. The lawsuits, the victims, the banks reminding everyone that most transactions go through without incident. He realizes his near miss lives inside those statistics as a success story. Hers lives there as a loss. She fills out forms, waits on hold, tells the same story to 3 different people at the same bank. The answer doesn't change. You authorize the transaction. The system treats her trust as if it were consent. On paper, there are many places where the fraud could be stopped. At her bank, inside the real-time rail, at the receiving bank before the money is withdrawn. In practice, the last person in the chain is the one who pays. Real-time payments are not going away. The rails are built. The speed is real. The question now is whether the people who profit from that speed will also take responsibility for what it does at kitchen tables and living room couches. Because for every Ethan who gets to pull his thumb back, there is someone else staring at a green check mark, being told that their loss was authorized. Real-time payments are not going away. The rails are built. The speed is real. The question now is not just how people get scammed, but how the system decides what happens next. Because for every Ethan who gets to pull his thumb back, there is someone else staring at a green check mark, being told that their loss was authorized. This was the story of what it feels like when money moves too fast. In part 2, we go back to the bar and watch Maya pull the rails apart, wire by wire, batch by batch, second by second.